Stephen Fulton has defeated Brandon Figueroa via unanimous decision. And yes, he's now the champ. There we go. Stephen Fulton wins. He wins the rematch. He's 2-0 over Brandon Figueroa now. And yes, much better than the first time, let's say. I think it was. He was more convincing. He just looked much more comfortable in there, if we're being completely real. Stephen Fulton did. He was very comfortable in there throughout the fight against Brandon Figueroa. I think 116, 112 is a bit too close as well. I think 117 to 111 is good. I think overall, Stephen Fulton was just too good. His counters were so good on the back foot. He was great throughout. And, especially early on when Fulton was able to get, real good, full extension through that jab. It was really good from Stephen Fulton. And, when Figueroa was coming at Fulton, especially later on, he was getting more sloppy and sloppy, in my opinion. He was getting more sloppy as the fight went on. I think Figueroa did. He was kind of just rushing his work a bit and was pretty wild with it. Fulton was consistent throughout and, kept a good, consistent pace and was always good on that back foot. And, every single time he was able to, catch some good, cheeky shots in there on Brandon Figueroa. And Fulton was good at taking shots on the gloves as well, blocking shots nicely. And he was smart with what he did. He was very smart with what he did throughout that fight, Fulton was. Good behind the jab, at times worked the body nicely as well when Figueroa was coming at him. He wasn't fazed by what Figueroa had. He didn't really care about the power that Figueroa brought at him. And he's looking better and better at the weight, to be honest, Stephen Fulton. It was a good, he's looking better and better. It was good today at 126 for Stephen Fulton. He was good. He was convincing. It was a good win. The jab was good. It was in the face of Brandon Figueroa in that fight, and that's what he needed to do. Jab down to the body as well, confuse him, be jittery. He was. And, people have been saying, in his last few fights or something, like in that fight against Inoue, he kind of lost his foot a bit, and, against Carlos Castro, it wasn't great from Fulton at all. Got dropped in that fight as well. He looked much better today. He looked much better. He was more convincing. He mixed up his work nicely. He got some work going on the back foot. Then he'd move. Fulton knew coming into the fight, I'm going to be fighting this fight on the back foot because Brandon Figueroa is a very good pressure fighter who's, going to cause me problems. But Fulton knew this, and he was just completely able to outsmart him. The check hook of Fulton was good, but he just knew Fulton. He had to use that jab. He said that in the post-fight interview as well. He used his jab very nicely throughout, and it was a consistent punch. Figueroa was always walking onto that when he came in, trying to get the pressure going, trying to land some good, shots and trying to land some bulking shots. Fulton was very good at, changing levels a lot when defending and sneaking body shots in, level changes with his offense and defense. It was very good from Fulton today, in my opinion. I just think throughout he was just able to outsmart Brandon Figueroa and showed a different level today. He had his number from the off, you could tell. And he definitely won that first fight as well, Fulton. But he had his number from the off. He knew what he had to do. He's like, I beat this guy before. I can make it more convincing this time. And that's exactly what he was able to do. He was convincing today. And he was smart. There were some good single shots landing from Fulton at times in the fight, but also as well, he was able to land some good combinations on Figueroa as well when Figueroa was coming at him. Figueroa kind of leant in a bit and was trying to lean and smother his work, especially as the fight was going on, but Fulton wasn't really having any of it whatsoever. The uppercut was there from Fulton on that back foot. It was very good, and the lead hand was consistently in the face of Figueroa, which put him off. Lead hand feints on that back foot were good as well, and at times, especially early on as well, Fulton made Figueroa hesitant to, really try and get in there and be convincing with his work. Figueroa was messy. Fulton was very clean with the work that he was doing. And that's what, was very good at being able to win him the fight there. 100%. It was good. It was convincing from Stephen Fulton. Did exactly what he had to do there. So fair play. Massive important performance from him. What will we see next for Stephen Fulton? What will we see next for Brandon Figueroa? I think, there's some very interesting questions to be answered now. I think that a good fight we could see for Stephen Fulton next would be, the Espinoza fight could be there. I don't know, but Nick Bull versus Stephen Fulton is a fight that I would absolutely love to see, if I'm being honest. Nick Bull versus Stephen Fulton is a very bloody interesting fight and a good match of styles. You've got a good slip boxer like Fulton, and you've got Nick Bull as a wrecking ball, and he's better at coming forward than what Figueroa is. Nick Bull times his moments better. He's going to be less reckless. He's good at timing those overhands. That will be a good fight. With Figueroa today, he was just reckless, and he didn't really pace himself well at all. Figueroa came in a bit out of ideas, didn't really come in with a good set pace. Fulton had a pace that he wanted to fight at, and he fought that pace for literally the whole 12 rounds throughout. So that was good to see. Even the rounds that he lost, Figueroa's work was just messy the whole time, and at times he was just able to outland Fulton because he was just unpredictable and messy when he was coming in. But with Fulton, he's got those good, solid fundamentals which he can really punish you with. Fulton, what he's very good at is he's very good at the basics. Fulton can fight nicely on the front foot, but he's also good on the back foot as well. He's happy to fight on the back foot if you're backing him up. And he showed he's even better at it today. That's the thing. When you're backing him up, he can do it. I think it really did help the fact that he knew what Figueroa did. And he beat him before. He knows that style. He was able to do it again. So, mentally, Fulton knew what he had to do, but also as well in the back of his mind, you've got to give him credit for it. He didn't look great against Castro. So, yeah, give him credit for turning that around. Very good stuff. I want to see him in Nick Bull next. Anyway, going to end here. Thank you for watching. Speak to you on the next one.